Hi, I'm Dr. Kayla Daniel, the Naughty Nutritionist, and I'm talking today about marrow because I've been fascinated with bone marrow ever since I first read the Henry David Thoreau quote that we should live deep and suck the marrow out of life. Sounds like a plan to me. And as I've studied this topic, I've learned that bone marrow is an energizing and regenerative food all over the world, a sacred food, highly valued, a superfood. As well, in China, in Chinese medicine, they talk about deep bone consciousness as something that can help ground us and balance us. So that's good too. And we know that when animals go in for the kill, the first thing they instinctively go for and eat will be the marrow, followed by the organ meats, and only last, if they're still hungry, will they go for those muscle meats. So how are we going to eat our marrow? Well, we can scoop right out of the bone and eat it directly, or we can use it as butter on little points of toast, very elegant that way, or we can have our bone marrow as part of a nourishing broth dissolved in the water. Because whether we're making our broth with big bones like this, where we'll get a lot of marrow, or we're using poultry bones where we're getting very little, we're still getting some marrow as part of that broth. So some of you at this point might be saying, okay, I know our ancestors all over the world valued it, but what's in it? Tell us about the nutritional profile. Well, that gets really interesting. First of all, the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, has no data even on the big bones, the beef or lamb or wild game bones, much less the tiny amounts of marrow we would find in a fish bone or in poultry bones. And in accounts in the literature, we find a lot of contradiction and inconsistency. But when we think about it, it starts to make a lot of sense because marrow varies widely depending on the animal, the climate, whether it's domesticated or whether it's wild, whether it's been starving or whether it's well fed, and other factors. The marrow also varies in the same animal. Villemar Stephenson, in his accounts of the Arctic, for example, talked about the marrow he found in the lower leg of the animal being creamy, which is what we would call a monounsaturated fat. And he found in the femur of the same animal something that was solid and tallowy, a saturated fat. It was all good, and they scooped it all up, and they ate it all, and it kept them healthy. And we should do likewise, whether we're doing it in a nourishing broth or eating our marrow directly. So go for it. I'm Dr. Kayla Daniel, the Naughty Nutritionist, and if you've enjoyed this YouTube, please do subscribe to my channel right now. Thank you.